Why spiritually awake people are quietly disappearing from society. There is a quiet exodus happening around us. Those who have trained their minds, those who have touched the depth of true awakening, are vanishing. Not because they are defeated, but because they no longer find nourishment in the noise of the crowd. The spiritually awake do not despise the world, but they see it clearly. They see how men are enslaved by their cravings, by their anger, by their endless thirst for recognition. Epictetus once warned, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." And so the awakened withdraw, not because they are weak, but because they no longer need to prove themselves to those who still worship shadows. Their silence is not emptiness, it is strength contained. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the mind must be like the rock against which the waves break, and it stands firm while the raging sea falls still at its feet. Spiritually awake people embody this rock. They no longer chase the storm. They let the world rage while they hold fast to their inner fortress. We see them disappear because they no longer crave the theater of society, the endless pursuit of wealth, gossip, and validation. They seek solitude not as an escape, but as a battlefield where they refine their discipline. Seneca once wrote that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. And so, the awakened retreat into the present moment, into the simplicity that others find unbearable. They vanish because they refuse to feed the illusions that keep most people chained. Their disappearance is their quiet protest against a society built on vanity, distraction, and noise. But this vanishing is not loss, it is transformation. They do not abandon life, they transcend it. They walk among us unseen, their presence subtle but unshakable, like fire glowing beneath ash. And here lies the brutal truth. The more awake you become, the less you need from society, and the more society misunderstands you. Your silence unsettles others. Your restraint exposes their weakness. Your peace is mistaken for detachment. Yet within this solitude lies power. For it is in withdrawing from the shallow that the awakened prepare themselves for the battles of the eternal, the war within the mind, the mastery of the self. They disappear because they refuse to be slaves to approval. The spiritually awake drift away from society because they no longer hunger for applause. Approval is the invisible chain that binds most people to mediocrity. Get exclusive content and deeper insights. Join our membership today. Link in the description. The masses live and breathe in the court of public opinion, waiting for recognition, terrified of rejection. But the awakened have cut this chain. They live in harmony with themselves, and that makes them dangerous to a world that thrives on conformity. Epictetus once declared, "If you wish to be free, do not wish for anything that depends on others. Approval depends on others." And so, the spiritually awake stop performing. They stop bending their souls to fit expectations. They become untouchable because their value no longer rises or falls with the shifting winds of society's judgment. This refusal to be enslaved by approval unsettles those still trapped in it. That is why the awakened vanish quietly. They know that true freedom lies in walking away from the stage, from the crowd, from the desperate need to be seen. They disappear not because they are empty, but because they are full of strength, full of clarity, full of an inner wealth that no recognition can add to, and no rejection can take away. Their silence, their absence, their withdrawal is in fact a higher form of presence, one that does not beg, but radiates. We too must learn this. If we are to control ourselves in every storm, we must stop depending on the eyes of others to validate our worth. Only then will we understand why those who awaken do not stay long in the spotlight. They choose the shadows because they have already found the light within. If these words have stirred something within you, remember, wisdom is nothing if it isn't lived. Do not just hear these truths, embody them. The world will try to pull you into its noise, but your task is to rise above it. If you seek more guidance on this path of strength and silence, stay with us. Subscribe and walk this journey with those who refuse to break. Until next time, remain unshaken.